after their successful ambush of the droid convoy transporting troopers as well as AAT tanks to the super fortress on this island. The 501st Legion has returned. They've arrived to once and for all destroy the Separatist super fortress on the island. It's going to be hard fighting, but if anyone's up for it, it's the 501st Legion. Hey, what's going on, gamers? It's your boy, Daily Tactics here, and today I am back with some more Men of War Assault Squad 2, the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod. And before we get into this, I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We just reached 400,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable. I want to do a special video for that and maybe a giveaway as well. So please comment down below what you guys would like to see in terms of like a special video. I was thinking maybe like 400 soldiers getting ambushed or something like that, which could be kind of cool. And also be sure to comment down below what kind of a giveaway do you want. I mean, we could always do, you know, a video game giveaway or just like a money giveaway. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Either way, guys, we are going to be returning to the super fortress here because a lot of people wanted to see a part 2 to this. We had the convoy ambush in the last battle, but the 501st was not able to take over the fortress itself. So we've had the 501st return with more soldiers and 2 ATTE tanks to try and take on the Separatist defenses here. The Separatists do have some turrets, they've got a lot of infantry, and they've got 4 AAT tanks, 2 turbo laser cannons, and 2 anti-aircraft cannons pointed towards the ground to attack clone troopers. So it should be a real bombastic video here, baby. Without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get on into this thing. Please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I guess our new goal is 500k, which sounds insane. And yeah, comment down below those things I asked you to. Alright guys, let's get into this video. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2, all of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Righty then, gamers, let's go ahead and press start right here. We'll go in slow-mo for the first bit. The first part of this fortress that should get attacked is this tiny little outpost area up here. Maybe 25 or so battle droids holding this area and 2 of these turrets. It should go down relatively quickly, but what it's going to do is basically let the droids in the super fortress itself know that enemies are heading their way so they can prepare and get ready to fire. It just makes the soldiers all sort of alert and ready to move out. Alright, we could actually go into normal speed until the battle begins here because there's nothing really happening. ATTE's moving forward. They should be able to trample these trees with no problem, and it looks like they are doing that, taking out these palm trees as they move forward. It always looks so cool having tanks move through jungles or forests and things like that. Like, just them cutting a path through it is just so neat. Alright, we do have action happening now, so let's go in slow-mo so we can see the very start of this action. We've got quite a number of droids firing out rockets at those ATTEs. That could be really, really devastating to those clone tanks, possibly even taking out their shields very, very early on. Actually, though, most of the rockets hitting the infantry over here, which kills a number of 501st troopers very, very early on right there. The rest of the 501st beginning to mobilize within this jungle here, utilizing the trees as cover, spamming out some DC-15A fire, but they're getting hit by a whole lot of rockets here, baby. We're going to need this ATTE to really, really quick start clapping some of these droids. It is firing its front cannons. I'm not seeing the top cannon really go off very much. Oh, maybe it's about to fire now. That would be very helpful because right now the clone trooper infantry on the ground is getting kind of clapped, and they could certainly use a little bit of assistance here. This turret has gone down, but the one on the left over here is still alive. Scratch that. It just gets sniped out of its turret seat right there, so he is down for the count as well. Tons of 501st troopers doing okay on the right side. The middle, though, is seriously looking worse for wear. Lots of these troopers have been killed. That rocket barrage was extremely tough. The ATTE is now starting to get hit pretty hard by turbo laser cannon fire from the very, very back here. These things can fire an extraordinarily long way, and they pack a mean punch too, so they're just starting to shred the ATTE's shields right here. And once the shields are down, like, these things absolutely suck. Without the shields, they are garbage. But the one to the far right over here seems to still be moving forward quite nicely and doing pretty well. How are the AATs doing for the Seppies? Right now we've got pretty much all the AATs still alive, I believe. Yeah, all the AATs are still kicking, still alive, still doing great. So they should probably be able to get a lot of shots into these ATTEs as well. One of the ATTEs, like I said before, seriously suffering in this battle, but the other one seems to be doing pretty okay. So I think at least if one of these ATTEs manages to stay alive for the duration of this battle, we'll be in tip-top shape for the actual fortress assault that we're going to have to go through with these clone troopers. More 501st reinforcements coming in from the far right side over here. Seems like for the most part, the middle of the droid defenses here in the forward outpost are going down. There's just a few last remaining troopers right there. Oh my goodness, these turbo laser cannons are just firing non-stop right now. They need to be targeted by the clone troopers. Also, the AA guns are firing out a little bit as well. And haven't really seen too much fire from the AATs, to be honest. Maybe they're out of range, although I find that hard to believe. Oh! One of the turbo laser cannons gets sniped. Oh, the other one does too! One of the funny things about Men of War Assault Squad 2 is the fact that there is no actual animation for them dying. They just poof into smoke. So they're gone from the battlefield forever, but not before it looks like they did enough damage for one of the ATTE walkers to actually fully go down on this battlefield. That is actually a huge development right there, and a real shame for the clone troopers. They only have one of those remaining all the way over this way. It's starting to plow through this forest as well, and it now has to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AATs. I thought there were only 4 AATs, but I guess there are 5 AATs, which is a lot for one ATTE. I mean, I think the ratio is just about at the point where I could see the ATTE still managing to win that, especially with bazooka troopers on the ground helping out. But 1 to 5 is still a pretty hefty amount of AATs going up against one ATTE. That will be a tricky one for sure, but luckily the ATTE is pretty far back still at this point. It won't be getting fired upon just yet. It seems like actually it's fairly quiet on the battlefield, just a little bit of firing going on between the tanks of the Seppies, but not a ton of infantry fire going on from the 501st Legion. Look, I was in Florida for Easter, visiting some family, and I got in last night at like midnight, had to wake up early to go pick up the dog from the nursery, and, or not nursery, but basically some people were watching Scout at their house. I don't know what you'd call that. It's not like a shelter or anything like that. Oh, one of the AATs goes down. But basically, I'm super exhausted, super tired, and my words ain't working too good right now, boys. I ain't wording too good. No sirree, Bob. Okay, we do have full-scale attacking coming in from the 501st Legion here. They are fully mounting an offensive right now, spamming some fire into the droids. A few of them are getting hit pretty hard here. A couple dying, a couple going down. Not too much suppression, though, which is definitely a very, very good thing. They're trying to move in as fast as possible, I think, here. And they're actually doing a pretty good job of this, too. One of the droid bunkers right there completely down. The other one taking losses as well. These front defenses for the droids are seriously hurting. And these turrets keep on having their soldiers knocked off of them for some reason, which is very, very bizarre. Quite strange, if you were to ask me. Have these things fired at all? I thought I saw them once. Yeah, they are firing. This one's got 9 kills. This one's got 4 kills. So they are firing. It's just not super obvious when they do. I don't think they have the greatest firing animation, to be honest. More AATs are going down on the battlefield. There's still one here fully alive, one here fully alive, and then how about this one over here? Oh, this one actually just went down. An entire little squad of clone troopers went straight for it to try and knock that thing out of this battlefield, and it seems to have worked for them. A bit of a slaughter zone up here for the clone trooper infantry right now. A large quantity of them are dead on the battlefield right there. It's thanks to basically all of these droid infantrymen that are on the main sandbag trench here for their defenses. The ATTE is coming forward, seeing a little bit of rocket fire going into that thing, but not a lot. Definitely not enough to take this thing out right away. It's going to take definitely a few more shots, but it seems to be stuck actually in a bit of like a cratery thing. It is doing some cover fire right now into the droids off on this side over here, maybe even into the bunker. No, I think that bunker is actually cleared right there, so it's probably targeting these droids over this way. And those front cannons can be seriously deadly, so that is pretty dangerous for the droids right there. they're still going to need to take out that ATTE for sure. All right, how are the clone trooper infantrymen doing? All right, we got even more death up front here. Let me try and zoom in a little bit. How's that work? Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, lots of clone trooper infantry death up front and center here, but there's still a lot of them. They seem to have slowed down their assault a good bit, though, in the middle area. Down off to the left side over this way, we do have a little bit more clone trooper death going on, but quite a number alive in the grass here and spamming some fire out at the droids defending currently. It also looks like actually this bunker somehow got raised, maybe by a blast or something like that. I'm not sure how that happens in this game. But it's a little bit askew right there. AAT is trying to fire out as much as possible. I'm not sure how effective this thing is being. Actually, we can check if we'd like to. It's only got 2 kills. Yeah, it's not being especially effective, which is not very good. And a lot of this infantry on the far right flank for the droids has died as well. Infantry down middle for the droids seems to be doing kind of mediocre. They've still got a solid amount alive, but definitely dwindling. And the left side is doing great. The left side of the droids has so many troopers left alive. They are doing perfectly fine. This ATTE is on fire right now. Its sirens are going off. That means its shields are completely down, which means the droids have been just hammering this thing with rocket shots since it's been stuck in this crater. So they might actually be able to take out this second ATTE, which would be a pretty triumphant thing for the droids. That would be very impressive, in fact, to be able to take out 2 ATTEs. That's a lot of ATTE to cover. That's a ton of ATTE. So we'll see if they do manage to kill this thing. It would be rather impressive if they did. Looks like all of the AATs for the droids are down. All they've got left are these AA turrets right now, which are firing out. Maybe those things are going after this? No, not really. These things seem to only be really firing at the infantry currently, which I guess is pretty effective to fire at that infantry. They're super soft and squishy in that thin tree line right there. But if it just pivoted over to this ATTE, you could take out the biggest threat that the clones really have to face the droids right now. There are still some rocket troopers, but it seems like most of them don't really have shots at that ATTE, or it's just a little too far away. Rockets going off towards the infantry over here, though, which is kind of interesting as well. More clones coming to the aid of the ATTE, sort of surrounding it and providing a little bit of cover fire to try and keep it protected, I guess. They don't want to lose that cover fire that thing is providing them, which is very, very valuable. Also seeing some clone rocket fire going into this turret here. It dismounts the turret gunner, but he gets back into it. This one does lose its gunner completely, though. I believe that gunner did die. He gets knocked down again. I don't know if he's dead or not now. I think he might be dead. These turrets might finally be down for the count. Oh, no, it's not. This one has 18 kills, and this one, oh, it's fully dead, so I actually can't check the kills on that one, which is kind of sad. Oh, well, it happens sometimes, yeah. Droids still have a pretty good holdout back here. And that ATTE doesn't actually seem like it's going to be able to move forward at all any further. So it might be up to the infantry of the clones and the infantry of the droids to win this battle for their respective factions here. We're going into full speed now. Yeah, I mean, basically there's one ATTE that's kind of stuck and then one turret up here that's jittering a lot. This thing's like high on a lot of caffeine right now, apparently. It's got the jitters. And it doesn't seem to be really doing much for droids either. So I think right now the vehicles in this battle are essentially obsolete, and it's going to come down to some hardcore infantry fighting from this point on. Clones really just need to get a side angle at this thing and snipe him off. There we go. They finally sniped that guy off, and I think he might be dead now. Yes, okay, that guy is finally dead. It's taken them a very long time to get to that point. All right, droids off on the far left over here, skirmishing with a couple of clones in the woods over this way. Not really many of them. Very small dispatch of clones ended up getting sent towards this area of the battlefield. Mainly the middle was the main action point, and that did result in kind of a slaughter for the clone troopers. But now they should be freed up to actually push down the middle, as there are less and less droids left alive. Just a few in the way back here and a few in the bunkers, and then this flank over here is still very much so alive for the battle droid army, yeah? Jawohl. Alright, clones actually getting up into the super fortress at this point now. A few of them trying to snipe through this teeny tiny little visor point right here against these droids. They've gotten a couple kills, but the others are just suppressed. Big explosion hitting over here. I thought it might have been the ATTE, but it is not. So maybe that was just a rocket getting shot out. I am shocked that that ATTE is still alive. I think one or two more rocket shots, and that thing would be absolutely toasted but the rocket droids are not firing at it. Maybe this guy will now that the sandbags aren't really blocking him. Just stand up and fire at that thing. There you go, and it's down. Look at that off in the distance. The forest burns as the ATTE finally goes down in this battle. Well, it took long enough, certainly. I am still very impressed that the droids managed to do that at all, though. The fact that they took out 2 ATTEs in this battle with very little tank help for the second one, very impressive stuff, and very well done by the Battle Droid Army as well. Okay, 501st making a big push inward towards the droid army in the back lanes of this super fortress here. A number of them falling as they try to cross over this choke point. It is a bit of a kill box that the droids are able to take advantage of and just really hit hard. So good for the droids here, but bad for the clones. Nevertheless, the clones just want to persevere through. They're not getting slowed down at these choke points at all, which is exactly how you want to handle choke points, and they are just continuing their mad dash towards the end finish line here. More and more droids starting to fire in at them as they come in, but the clones are really overwhelming with forces right now. This is just a firing line of droids over here, though, and they are completely spamming the clones way back here, and they end up racking up a lot of kills right there. That was very nice. It looks like maybe also a grenade went off right there, which probably also took down many of these 501st clone troopers at the end of the day. BEA, beautiful baby. More fire from the back lines over here of these droids. They've still got a few more assets back there that can fire out. Is there anyone else in here? No, not really. There's a clone taking up that one. This one's completely down as well. Yeah, okay, so no one really in the bunkers. It's just droids on the ground at this point in time. We still got a lot back here. Again, basically just a firing wall over this way. And then we've got like 4 guys over here, 3 guys over here, and then 4 guys over here. So the clones, I think, do outnumber the droids still, but the droids have some pretty good lockdown positions. As long as these droids here don't pop up too much and try and fight the clones on the outside and really just stick to this choke point on the inside, I think they'll do great. But the odds of that actually happening are very, very slim. It also seems like the clones do have an angle from over here somehow that can sort of fire in at these guys too. So these droids might not be the powerhouse that I thought they would be a few moments ago, but they could still get a solid number of clone trooper kills at the end of the day here. Alright, they are just continuously spamming fire down at those clone troopers, racking up a whole lot of kills on these boys. So even if the droids do lose here, it'll be a Pyrrhic victory for sure for the clone trooper army. Oh my goodness, yeah, look at this just tight like hole that the clones are trying to go through, and the droids are just able to just absolutely melt them on the other side, just melting them. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Okay, I think if the clones just ran up to this barbed wire right here, there is a bit of a gap in the fence. If they just ran up there, lined up against this wall, and just spam fired in, they would be able to take them out. Oh, there's actually a couple more droids over here, too, that I did not account for. I did not know about those guys. So actually, maybe that plan wouldn't be so great, because then they'd be caught in a bit of a crossfire. Although I do think that is a good solution to this still. They'd just be able to trample these droids at that point if they did move in like that. I think it would be pretty decent play. And there's still these droids back here too. So the clones do still have a solid amount to worry about at this point in the battle. And right now they're just sort of skirmishing with these few droids right here, trying to get that angle, but it's a hard angle to get. We're seeing most of these shots miss as they try and acquire it. They're getting a few droid kills here, but these droids are still killing more of them than the clones are killing of them. So, you know, the clones might want to rethink this process and tackle it in a different manner, but they're just going to do what they're going to do here, and I'm not going to interfere because at least they're still fighting. I only try to interfere in battles if either A, something is seriously broken in the battle and it's like causing a lot of glitches and like troopers just aren't moving the way the battle was intended to move, or if no one's getting into any action and it's just like 10 minutes of silence on the battlefield, then I will move troopers forward. Because at that point, it's just kind of boring if we're being completely honest, you know what I'm saying? Alright, we do have some grenades getting tossed over this way. That'll take care of those 2 droids really, really quick. Nice job from those clone troopers who dealt with them. A couple more droids over here still alive, and these guys too. More grenades could handle them easily. Looks like these droids did inevitably go down, but they took out a lot of clone troopers at the end of the day. Alright, more clones getting killed as they try and push into this area of the fortress. Again, just grenade. You guys did it a moment ago. What's to stop you from doing it again and taking out these droids here instead of taking further losses? Clone up here, taking the high ground. He gets shot down. He's got more buddies trying to help him out though. More clones going down. This is we're getting into unnecessary losses area here, you know? This is a point in the battle where the clones can easily clean up these last remaining droids by just grenading or sniping or moving in large packs, but they're starting to trickle in and they're starting to take more and more losses for really no reason here. 3 droids back here firing from the side wall over this way, and then we got crossfire actually from these droids over here too, which is pretty cool if you were to ask me. A couple clones trying to sneak in that way as well. Alright, why don't we go into fast speed here and just see the end of these few droids. Clones really trickling in here, not managing to get many kills. Oh my god, they're still losing troopers to these boys. It's really a fascinating thing how these clones are just not ending this thing. They are making it go on longer. They are making these droids get more kills. It is not a good play here from the Grand Army of the Republic. Look at this, more and more clones going down over here. And they still haven't killed any of those 3. And they killed only one of these 4 over here. Dude, this is not that good of a position. First of all, this trooper here can easily just grenade those 3. Boom, you got them done for. Then you just move over to here with a squad of troopers and take these 3 out. Okay, there we go. Those 3 finally get taken out. These 3 finally get taken out. But not before like 10 more clone troopers died. Jeez. Alright, so yellow are dead droids, red are dead clones. Clones took so many losses in this battle that were unnecessary towards the end. In the beginning, I do have to say the clones did very, very well, I thought. But towards the end, they started to fall apart. If they had done poorly in the beginning and poorly at the end, they would have just straight up lost this battle. But early victories definitely led them to a victory at the end of the day here. Pretty fun battle overall, if I do say so myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to hit the like button if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.